Hi everyone, I want to bring you a new video on everyone is not your friend. Everyone is not your friend. And I think a lot of times we use the word friend too loosely. We use the word friendship and friend too loosely. Just because someone smiles in your face does not mean they have earned that position to be a friend in your life. Let's look at what the title friendship means. A state of enduring affection, esteemed intimacy, trust between two people, mutual trust, support between two people, a bond, union, attachment, harmony, and a connection. And a lot of times when we first meet people, we want to welcome them into our life as friends. Everyone haven't earned that position in your life to be called a friend. But before we get into the video, I like to say to every one of my followers and to especially the ones that come over and watch my videos faithfully, the ones that come over and check and see if I posted, I want to say I'm sorry that I'm not able to make videos as often as I used to. My schedule has changed and my life is much busier. Due to working 12-hour shifts, I am tired most of the time. When I get out of scrubs and I get home and pull those scrubs off, all I want to do is rest and relax. When you work in a 12-hour shift, and then you on call. Well, they can call you any time of the day, any time of the night. I'll call you in at any time. And it's a tired position to be in. So once I get home and I pull those scrubs off, all I want to do is rest and relax. And I'm trying to do everything I can to fit my YouTube channel back into my schedule. I can come back on my YouTube channel. Every time I think I'm going to come on my channel and make a video, and get a call. Can you come in? No matter what time or what my life's like, can you come in? So, and I have to put those frumpio scrubs back on and go into work. So please forgive me and bear with me on my channel. I'm going to try to get my channel fitted back into my schedule as soon as my schedule gets to a point where I'm not so busy as I have been. And I think that my schedule is getting more better. So I'm here today. So obviously I have 3 days, three evenings off, and I'm thanking God just for that. Just as long as I don't get a call in to come to work. Okay. So now let's get into the topic now and the subject. The topic and the subject, like I said, is everyone is not your friend. Just because someone smiles in your face, just because someone greets you with a happy feeling and emotion does not mean they are your friend. Let's get into the video. Let's get into the video. Love you, brothers and sisters. Love you, and love you. God bless. Let's get into the video. Let's get into this video. Everyone is not your friend. We use the word friendship too loosely. Number one, when we meet someone for the first time and we have something or some things in common doesn't mean they are our friend. Number two, just because someone you've been friends with for years does not mean they are still your friend. People do grow apart. People change their mind. Their feelings change. They might not love you or like you the way they did in the past. Just because we go to school with don't went to school with someone or someone we know from the past we've been friends with for years does not mean they will always be a friend. People minds do change, their feelings do change, people do grow apart, and it's okay. Now there are times when we do have those friends we've had for years. They haven't changed. They the same in and out of season. They never changed. They are still good-hearted, decent friends till this day. But we do have those ones that in times in our life when we do grow apart from a person, our feelings may change or their feelings may change. We might not have the same interests and the same goals in life anymore or the same interests. And we start to draw apart from each other. which is okay. When you start to draw away from someone, it is okay. And you have to know when to let go of someone you've been knowing for years. But the problem is, when you've been knowing someone for years, they was your childhood friend, someone you went to school with, someone you have history, it's a little hard sometimes to let that go because of the history. You like, that's my friend. We done been through everything together. That's my friend. But you do notice that you and that friend is drawing apart. You no longer have the same interests. You no longer greeting each other in a pleasant way. So there are times when people just grow apart. And it don't also necessarily have to be the other person. It could be you. And then it could be the other person. But for whatever reasons, people do grow apart and people's feelings do change when it comes down to each other. Now, we look at friendship. And when I looked up friendship, it have a lot of meanings. I'm going to give you a few. Now, when I looked up the word friendship, it said a state of enduring affection, esteem, intimacy, trust between two people, mutual friends, support between two friends, a bond, union, attachment, harmony, or a connection. Now, when you first meet someone for the very first time, there is no way that you are automatically going to have enduring affection for them. Not unless it's something to do with that person being another human being and you being another human being. But having deep enduring affection for that person as a friend. Just can't have it right off the bat like that. And then esteemed intimacy. Intimacy means sharing things between each other, the good and the bad. Trust between the two of you. How can you have trust with someone you just met? You don't know this person in and out of season. You don't know if this person is someone that has a great past, someone that will make a great friend. You don't know this person in and out of season, how this person reacts when it comes down to just being a human being. You have to get to know people to build trust with someone, a bond, a union, attachment to someone. You have to build to that. And I've seen so many times with someone to get with someone and all of a sudden, ooh, wow, that's my friend. That's my friend. Or they get in a relationship. Oh, that's my man. That's my woman. Just to find out that it was the worstest move they ever could have made. But they don't welcome them into their life and they're having a hard time getting them out. Because when some people turn and no longer a friend, or call them a friend, and they turn, they become an enemy. Okay? We're going to get into that in just a little bit. Now, when we look on down here, I want to talk about Judas betrayed Jesus with a kiss. Saul betrayed David because of jealousy. Cain betrayed his brother Abel because of jealousy by killing his brother. Now, Judas betrayed Jesus with a kiss. Luke 22:45 says, but Jesus said unto him, Judas betrayed thou the Son of Man with a kiss. Now we look at Judas a little bit. When we look at Judas and Jesus, Judas was looked at as family and a friend to Jesus. Judas ate with Jesus, spent time with Jesus, shared things with Jesus. He was a part of Jesus' inner circle. He was one of the disciples, and God looked at the disciples as family. So Judas was considered a friend and family to Jesus. But still, Judas took a kiss, what was supposed to be a sign of common greeting, a simple expression of respect and honor, brotherly love, and turned it into a betrayal, a signal to indicate that he was the person that the officials was looking for. Judas took something that was a simple expression of respect and honor and brotherly love and turned it into a betrayal, something that was precious between him and Jesus, and turned it into a betrayal. And that's how a lot of times we get into friendships. That's how a lot of times our friendships sometimes turn out. We get into a friendship with someone, and we develop a bond with someone. We share our intimate thoughts with that person. We spend all our time with that person. We share our ups and downs with that person. And then when that friendship starts to change, sometimes that very friend can turn into an enemy. And that very friend can become hostile. And that very friend can turn on us and betray us, our intimate thoughts and our intimate things that we share together, and use it to betray us. Judas took something that was so precious between him and Jesus and betrayed Jesus, a kiss. The same way a lot of times when we in friendship, sometimes our friends, the people we love, we trust, we have developed a bond with, a union, attachment, harmony, and a connection with, can sometimes turn on us as well. It has been known to happen. And they start to share the most intimate stuff that you shared with them to hurt you and betray you and to make you look bad with family, friends, and others around you. They take what was so intimate that you all shared together and turn it and use it against you and use it to betray you. This is what Judas did to Jesus. He took something so precious that was between him and Jesus. Something that was so precious between him and Jesus. And he turned it and used it to betray Jesus. Now, like we saw between Judas and Jesus, he looked at Judas as family and a friend. So it don't always mean that because someone is a part of our bloodline, they are our friend. They can betray us as well. Someone you've been friends with for a very long time, their feelings can change and they no longer like you, and they can become someone that betray you. They're no longer a friend and they can grow apart away from you. Someone you meet for the very first time, you automatically know that's not a friend. You might have something in common with that person. Y'all vibe real well, but they are not your friend. You have to get to know people. You have to get to know people. Everybody that smiles in your face is not your friend. And I also want to say this. Now, the opposite of friendly feelings is animosity, bitterness, and conflict. Is the opposite of friendly feelings. When someone starts to change, and a lot of times they don't like you anymore, and y'all not growing apart gracefully. They're going on with their lives, you're going on with their life, but they holding some kind of animosity against you. Them friendly feelings changes, and they can change into animosity, bitterness, and conflict. That person can become an enemy, a foe, a rival, a hostile be for you, and you don't see that friend anymore. It ain't always the time people just grow apart and they just separate. You got some friends that turn. That's why a lot of times when we see the warning signs in friendships, when we see the yellow sign blinking, warning, 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 pay attention. When you see that red light blinking, 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 definitely saying stop, hold up, back up, stop right there. Know when to cut ties with someone when it's no longer right. Know when to see the warning signs, heed the warning signs, heed the stop sign. When they say stop, abort, get out of there. Know when to let go. Because a lot of times, like I said before, we want to hold on to people because they are someone that was a part of our past. We grew up with them. They are family. I don't want to cut ties with them, but you know they ain't right. That's my best friend. We've been friends for years, and now all of a sudden you know they're not right. And you want to hold on to something that you should have been let go of. And it's growing into something ugly. And a lot of times, sometimes people will wait till the very time the enemy or the foe, the rival, gets very hostile and strike. And then all of a sudden you say, that's not my friend anymore. When you done saw the warning signs. Everybody is not our friend. Whether it's someone we meet for the first time, first of all. Second, or someone that's been a part of our life and now they change. Or it's a family member. Third, a part of our bloodline. Everybody's not your friend. Now, friendships require admiration, respect, trust, and emotional and instrumental support from each other. I'm going to say it again. Friendships require admiration, respect, trust, and emotional and instrumental support between each other. You know, friendships require that when you get with someone, or have someone in your life, and you bring someone into your life, and you start to like that person, you begin to have a bond, a union, an attachment, and harmony between them. Friendships require certain things in order for two people coming together requires that. If you're going to become friends, it requires that you have some type of respect and trust between each other. And everybody just ain't your friend, okay? Now, no one knows when a friendship will develop. A lot of times it comes from shared interests or certain hobbies you and that person might share together, or people that is similar to you in your culture, or you have the same background. You never know who or what or where you're going to develop a friendship with someone, or who's going to be your friend. And a lot of times when they do come together and be friends, when friendships do develop, it's because of things they share, common interests, hobbies, and similar to each other's culture. It's something between you and that person will bring y'all together and bring y'all into a union, eventually being friends. But until then, everybody's not your friend. Know the difference. Choose your friends wisely. Now I'm going to give y'all a little story from my past. On the job, there's a person that worked with me on the job. Well, she used to work with me on the job. And every time she would walk in a room, she's real loud, she's real boisterous, she's always all over the place, and you can hear her before you see her. If you walk into a room, you can hear her before you see her. She's real loud, she's boisterous, and she's all over the place. And a lot of people at the job, when they hear her or see her, they take off running. I don't want to talk to her, I don't want to be around her, I'm out. And for some strange reason, every time she would see me, she would run to me. She would run to me with this loud voice, Rose, 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 and greet me with this big bouncy walk, because she was short and heavy set. And when she walked, she bounced. And she would come towards me with this big loud voice, Rose, 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 and this big boisterous and flamboyant attitude bouncing towards me when she walked. And I would always cringe every time she come towards me, because she would always signal me out. If I walked in the room, I don't care who was in the room, she was going to signal me out. She was going to yell out loud, Rose, as loud as she could, and come over running to me. And I would always cringe. So, oh my God, here she comes, right? So, now if anyone knows me, I'm not a big talker. I'm a very calm, laid-back person. When I walk into the room, I don't say much. I only speak when I have to speak, or when I'm asked something, or I'm reading someone, or when I just have to have a conversation or talk. I'm not a big talker, and I'm not someone who walks into the room all over the place. I come in, I have a seat, I'm laid back, I chill. But her is the big shouting, it's the loud voice that gets me every time. So she would always come over to me, and she would be so happy to see me, scream me out loud, Rose, 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 and everybody's looking like, there she is, and she's calling my name. So after this going on for 2 weeks of her, no, maybe 3 weeks of her doing this, and me running, I'm running, trying to hide, like, oh God, if she sees me, she's gonna call me out. And sometimes I bump into it, and oh my God, here we go. But one day, I decided, after all of this running from her, trying to dodge her, and her chasing me down at work, I decided, okay, Rose, you can't run from her all the time. She's obviously not going to leave you alone. She obviously likes you. Sit down, talk to her, and get to know her. So one day I sat down, talked to her, and really got to know her. This was after 3 weeks or maybe 4 weeks of this going on. I sat down, talked to her, really got to know her, let my guard down a little. And we got to talking. And the first word she said to me was, Rose, a lot of people here don't like me. They don't like me, they talk about me, and they don't like me. She say, but you my friend. You my friend. And I remember looking at her saying to myself, but I am not your friend. I had known her before weeks, and her personality was over the top. And every time I saw her, I would cringe, okay? So I would just get nervous just being around her, because she was so loud, because I'm very quiet. So I told her, I thought to myself, we are not friends. And so after talking to her for a little time, and a few more days went by, I started letting my guard down a little bit more, and I started sitting talking with her. Guess what, y'all?
Come to find out, she turned out to be one of the most sweetest, lovable, comfortable, awesome people to be around. And I actually enjoyed her company. I actually enjoyed her conversation. And to this very day, I look at her as a friend. We actually became friends. Exchanged numbers and we talk. She called me, I call her. She checked up on me, I check up on her. And I actually look at her as a friend. Now, when we develop friendships with people, sometimes the very person we don't like will turn out sometime to be your very best friend. Okay? And sometimes the very person you like will turn out to be the very person that you end up not liking. Okay? So be careful who you turn away as a friend also, because sometimes just because someone doesn't have things in common with you and they're not like you don't mean that they're not good people. It does not mean they don't make good friends. Okay? But no matter which way it goes or which way the cookie falls, okay? Be careful who you call a friend, who you allow into your life and allow into your space. Like I said again, let's go over this definition again, and we're going to bring this video to an end. Friendship, the meaning of some of what friendship means: a state of enduring affection, esteem, intimacy, trust between two people, mutual trust, support between two people, a bond, union, attachment, harmony, and connection. Okay? And also, when you get having a great friend, also be reminded that friendship can also draw apart. You and that person can draw away from each other and you're no longer friends anymore, and that is okay. And a lot of times when you start to draw away from a person, it's no longer a friendly situation. You never know how that situation is going to go, okay? Because I also gave you the definition of the opposite of friendly feelings: animosity, bitterness, and conflict. Sometimes what can be a friend can actually turn out to be your enemy, your foe, your rival, and very hostile. So be watchful, y'all. Like I say, we don't know what tomorrow holds, and we don't know what our future holds. But we owe it to our own selves to be watchful of what we allow in our space all the time. We allow it to ourselves. We should not walk into no friendships, no relationship, nothing like that with anyone blindsided. Oh, that's my friend, that's my friend. We never know where the enemy is going to be. But we owe it to ourselves to make sure we take care of ourselves. Take care of ourselves mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. And knowing the people that you bring in and out of your life has a lot to do with it, okay? It has a lot to do with that. Now, I'm going to bring this video to an end, but I want to give you one scripture before I bring this video to a full-blown end, okay? I want to bring to you all Psalms 55, 12 through 14. Psalms 55, 12 through 14. Now, when we look at that scripture, it says this: for it was not an enemy that approached me, then I would have borne it. Neither was it he that hated me that did magnify himself against me, then I would have hid myself from him. But it was thou, a man mine equal, my guide, my acquaintance. We took sweet counsel together and walked together in the house of God in company. And this scripture talks about being betrayed by a friend. Let's look at 12 real quick and we're going to end this. For it was not an enemy that reproached me, else I would have borne it. He's saying it wasn't someone that I called the enemy that did me wrong, that hurted me, that betrayed me. It was not an enemy. He said that, else I would have borne it. He said if it would have been an enemy, I would have accepted it. But it's because you are someone I trust and you are my friend what struck him and stood out to him. You was not an enemy. But I called you a friend that did me wrong and betrayed me. And then it goes, neither was it he that hated me that did magnify himself against me, then I would have hid myself. Now he's saying that neither was it he that hated me, that magnified himself against me. But you was a friend that came against me, that come up against me. He said, if it was someone I hated, I would have hid myself. Because when someone you know hates you, you know how to get out their way. You know how to move out the way. But he said, you was a friend. I didn't expect this. I called you a friend. And I didn't expect you to strike me and come at me. So I didn't have no reason to hide. But you still betrayed me. And it says, but it was a man, my equal, a guide and my acquaintance, someone he knew, someone he looked as a friend. He said, we took sweet counsel together and walked into the house of God together. Meaning they was together. So, y'all, that speaks about betrayal. See, a lot of times when we have enemies, we already know they don't like us. People hate us. We already know they don't like us. You kind of know how to dodge them, get out of the way. You kind of, you don't like me anyway. You build up a tolerance for it. You know what I'm saying? But when you got a friend, someone you never expect to strike out at you and hurt you, that's what hurts you the most. Because this is someone I called a friend. So, brothers and sisters, be watchful of who you allow in your life as friends. And I want to say relationships, when we stick into friendship. And choose your friends wisely. At least give yourself an opportunity to welcome someone into your life that is going to be part of your growth. Okay, you owe that. You owe yourself that. Okay, you owe yourself that. God bless you, brothers and sisters. God bless. God bless. God bless. Love you. Sorry I haven't been on my channel. Like I said, I'm working all the time and I'm trying to get this all sorted out. And I'm here today. Love you and God bless. God bless. God bless.